Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for turning into this, I believe, the last of today's matches of the Ori Randomizer tournament. Today, we will be seeing the fantastic matchup between Vulajin and Dr. Tuan. Vulajin, probably one of the most recognizable names and faces in all of speedrunning, and not just the Ori community. It's well earned. This guy has been around and done a lot. So he's earned it. Dr. Tuan, I'm a little less familiar with. Alongside me, I am Ozzy, and alongside me is, of course, Richard. Richard, can you tell me anything about Dr. Tuan?
Yeah, good afternoon, Aussie. And we've got an interesting match ahead of us. Vula being from Ori since day one, a very accomplished runner. And Dr. 2N actually having joined the Ori community very recently. He's kind of jumped on to the community as someone that's been focused on randomizer and randomizer only. He wants to learn about all skills at some point, but still just focusing on this tournament. We actually saw Dr. 2N earlier today in our opening doubles matchup for this tournament, in a very close matchup, and unfortunately getting a loss there. But Dr. 2N's been making a lot of progress, been asking a lot of questions in our community Discord, and still trying to pick up the tricks in this game. We do definitely see an advantage here for Vulajin, but as it is rando, I don't want to kind of discount anything just yet.
Absolutely not. As far as I can tell, Dr. Tuan is more than proven himself already today. A very close match. Definitely one to go back to check the VODs later.
Yeah, and so we'll be getting underway here pretty soon. So again, I just want to reiterate, this is a Swiss format here for this tournament. So we will be having 5 rounds of Swiss. So each of the players, as they win and lose matches, they'll be playing players with similar scores. So whoever wins this match will play another 1-0 player most likely. And then at the end of those weeks, then we will proceed on with the rest of the tournament. But right now, we're going to be entering this match soon, and we'll see how both of these players do. Again, so for this randomizer, could you explain the randomizer a bit to us, Ozzy?
Sure thing. Well, basically, if you've ever seen A Link to the Past randomizer, we borrowed a lot from that. Namely, the shuffling of all key items and pickups in the game are completely randomized. This includes experience points, the key items to get into the dungeons, and we are starting off. So yes, all these things are randomized through pickups, and the game still has a logic. Like you still need to get skill A in order to get key B. So we'll be seeing what exactly the randomizer has in store for us with the very first pickup.
Yep, and so this is, version 2.6 or something of the randomizer, and so the logic is quite advanced at this point. We're making sure that there are no, soft lock situations that happen. When I say we, I mean, Sigma Sign, the creator of the randomizer. As we go underway here, looks like both players have a keystone thus far, and we'll see kind of what their next things are as they go through.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So besides skills and cells and XP, another thing in the definitive edition specifically of this game are teleporters. So there are teleporters throughout the map that allow you to teleport to different locations. And when you go there, you're able to pick up, everything according to what skills you have in those areas. So again, they just got a teleporter here. And so they'll be able to go to Hollow Grove, which allows them access to the Charge Flame tree. This is, just general clues mode. You have to collect all the trees.
Ooh, and there's a really nice fine charge jump.
Yep. This gives the players a lot of good vertical movement as they're able to go through. And Vula trying to go underwater there.
Yeah, this is something we have commonly kind of known as fake flippers. It pretty much works exactly the same as fake flippers from Link to the Past. You go into a water net you're not supposed to go in, and you use a feature of the randomizer where you press Alt and R on your keyboard and you instantly get warped back to the very start of the game. And it looks like both players are opting to head in over to the teleporter and they are going to use it. Yes. Why go? No, Vula is going right into Barrows. Okay.
Yep. So both players having a little bit of a deviation here. Vulajin is going to be entering Blackroot Burrows, which does have a few pickups over here that he can pick up, as well as a skill tree in the dash tree. And Dr. Tuen kind of taking the probably more sane approach here, as Vula doesn't have any wall interaction, so if he falls down into any of these spikes, he's going to be hard pressed to kind of escape that.
And making a precautionary save, and for exactly that reason.
Yep. Unfortunately, Vula also has 3 health, so these spikes deal 3 damage to him. So he's got to be a lot more careful than Dr. Tuen, who did find a 4th health over at the fake flippers area. So Vula gonna be struggling here. You can see kind of the struggles that he's having as Dr. Tuen going to go over to the charge flame tree here. We'll see what Dr. Tuen decides to do afterwards, but hopefully he'll get some sort of progression.
Just a keystone, which does give him further access on the left side.
Yep, that allows him to go into the rest of Sunken Glades. So he did only have the 1 keystone earlier, which is kind of why I had to decide where to go afterwards. So it looks like he's going to get this pickup, probably Altar out, and then that actually contained another keystone. So that'll be definitely useful as he goes into the left side of Sunken Glades, which does have a lot of keystone doors in it.
Ooh, there's a nice pickup. This is something that was added into just the randomizer exclusively. This is charge dash efficiency. This cuts down the energy consumption of using charge dash in half.
Yep.
If they find dash, that is extremely nice to have.
Yep. Again, it is very dependent on if they find dash. Dashes are a required skill as per the logic to finish, but you may or may not find it throughout seeds. As we see Vula here, he's going to be finishing up Blackroot Burrows. He's going to be getting his first skill tree in the dash tree, and then Dr. Tuen looking to go through Glades here. Hasn't found anything super useful just yet, but there are a lot of pickups here that he'll be able to check.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's shy 1 keystone of going over into Spirit Caverns.
Yep, but he does have a map stone, so he's going to put that in this map altar. And so map altars are progressive. Now, Ozzy, can you explain to me kind of how that works in this randomizing?
It's pretty simple, really. There's these pedestals that you can put a mapstone into. And whenever you put a mapstone into a pedestal, you will always get a item pickup from that pedestal sequentially. So if you put mapstone 1 in a pedestal, you will get the item listed as 1. The next one, the item listed as 2, and so on and so forth, up to 9.
Yep, and so I do want to point people over to Vula's side. So Vulajin went to the dash tree and actually got the Thornfelt Swamp teleporter in the map stone over there, which is pretty useful, as well as he got dash. So all of this stuff is going to be super helpful for Vula to be able to quickly traverse through the map.
Yeah, and this goes back to finding that charge dash efficiency earlier. I would not put it past Vulajin to put that check off for too long, considering it's so easy to get.
Yep, and so it looks like Dr. Tuen over here coming to the wall jump tree. Vula skipping a cutscene here at this teleporter, wanting to make sure to activate this teleporter before he goes down to get this other map stone, as well as other pickup at the bottom. So this bottom pickup you can destroy with the Franki's Stomp, which is just a keystone. But again, I say just a keystone, but Vula will be able to go into the rest of Blades right now.
Mm-hmm. It's starting to look like progression is going to be going over to Barrows in order to get dash. So I would not be surprised if Twin eventually heads his way on over because Barrows is just one of those things you just do eventually. You just get it over with. It's always going to be somewhat slow.
Yeah. And key thing to note is these players don't really have any wall interaction right now, so we might be seeing Dr. Tuin getting some form of that over here as he goes through Spirit Caverns, because even with dash, even with charge jump, there's definitely all these important things that you need to kind of maneuver easily. And I don't know if Dr. Tuin kind of missed the first map stone over here, or if he
Yeah, he did pass the keystone. He got charge flame though.
Okay, Charge Flame is definitely a really nice pickup that allows you to break both plants as well as Charge Flame walls. Those are walls that are kind of highlighted in blue as you go through the map. So I'm not sure if that was an intentional thing he missed the keystone. I didn't see specifically on his screen, but I don't know if he got it and then died and then decided not to get it, or if he just missed it.
He might have thought I don't have wall interaction, I can't get it, but that doesn't make quite sense. It's one of those weird, oh yeah, that exists, and I just completely forgot.
Yeah, we have confirmation from Skullblock Inner Truck here saying that Dr. Chuan just did not grab that keystone. So that actually could be a critical error. Definitely kind of showing maybe his gap in knowledge compared to Vulajin, who's been playing this for many years now. Maybe just not getting the keystone. Yeah. The original version of this game, Vula's been playing it since the first day, and all of us have been kind of trailing behind here. Dr. Tuan realizing he doesn't have the wall interaction he wanted for that little stand there in Blackroot Burrows, but having the 4 health, managing to make it, but unfortunately taken in death there. Gonna have to get this orb.
Yep. Luckily, you can only have to touch the orb, and the orb will proceed to follow you around, and it'll place itself at specific locations. This is just done in a way so that the game and you can't like soft lock yourself or something.
Yep. Meanwhile, Vulajin actually getting the keystone that Dr. Tuan missed. That's a 4th energy cell. So that actually could be kind of important because there are 4 energy doors in this game that you need 4 energy to open, and so that could be kind of one of the forms of progression that Tuan missed by missing that keystone.
Yeah, we've seen cases like over in the 4 energy door over at Spider Sack, or the 4 energy door over in Grotto. Those locations have been known to hide some really, really important abilities and skills.
Yep. Vulajin reaching his 3rd tree here. So he gets a clue about the Ginso tree. The Ginso tree holds the Gumon seal, which is the most useless of the 3 dungeon keys that you can get in this game. But that does kind of, lead us into what this mode of the Ori randomizer is, which is clues mode. So Ozzy, did you want to talk about clues in any way?
It's a pretty simple mode of this game that we have for the randomizer. All it does is make it so that every 3 trees you pick up in the game will give you a hint. This hint will tell you where the location of the 3 dungeon keys that exist within the game: the Gumon seal, the Water Vein, and the Sunstone. These hints are told randomly, so we could very well find out if the Water Vein is next, or we can find out where the Sunstone is next.
Yep, and a little note about that. So the clues mode, every 3 trees you get a clue to where one of those keys are, and that's just to kind of mitigate the fact that you might be exploring for a while, because there are 248 pickups in this game, and you could be searching around a long time for it.
Yeah, and even with clues, it's entirely possible that the clue could be like, oh, it's in swamp, and oh, you go to swamp, you check everything except for like a place that's blocked by a particular skill. Now you're on the hunt for this skill.
Yep. And so we see Vula here. He's going to be going over to this area, and there is a 4 energy door over here again. So that could be useful for him if he does find an important pickup in that area. Again, Dr. 2N wasn't able to get that. 2N going to be checking this pickup, which is basically nothing. Health regen is nice to have, but not a necessary thing to have in the randomizer. We're picking up an ability cell in this 4 energy door, so nothing to fear for 2N just yet. Vul getting a health cell.
Yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot of good if he can't. Oh, can he get out?
I think he does want to keep it. So he had a few options there. You can save and reload the game to go back to your previous save point, as opposed to kind of making your way through that spiky pit area. But Vulajin opting to keep that health cell because he
lost it, unfortunately.
No, he did keep it. He's got the 5 here. He did save.
Oh, he did save? Okay.
Yep.
I thought he did for a second there. He rekindled. Got it. Yeah, we're already seeing some of the annoyances of not having wall interaction. There's like several places that if they simply had it, they would be able to check these locations.
Yep, and Vula there, so he's leveled up Charge Dash, which allows the ability to rocket jump, which is something that you saw there, where you can get a lot of vertical movement by pressing Charge Dash and jump all at the same time. And Vulajin finds Bash. Wow,
what a find!
An incredible find from Vulajin. That really allows him a lot of movement within the entire map, and like a big help to him to go through the rest of the seed.
Yeah, not only that, Bash is, for the purposes of just exploration and pickup locations, it's like 3 skills in one. It covers so much.
Yep, and Vulajin there with a save anywhere trick, so he had the menu up so that he could save, and then he reloads and he floats up a bit here so you can get the water vein pickup, which is just 13 experience, and then he's got another pickup over here, which is kind of pesky to grab if you don't do the cutscene skip that he did, or not really the cutscene skip, but
bridge
skip anywhere that he did, yeah. But he got those. Wasn't super useful for him, unfortunately.
And deciding to go check over Glide Vault, which has a map stone. We have found a good number of map stones so far. I think that's our 5th one.
Yeah, and that's actually definitely useful for Vulajin. He might want to keep that map stone because he's going into Moon Grotto, which does have a map altar at it, right at the bottom as you fall down. So he's probably going to want to keep that. We'll see if he goes back up for it or not. It looks like he opts not to.
But there's another one. Okay.
He does not get punished. He gets another map stone right there.
Now, there's all these plants, right? Okay, he's going to be able to do chase. Oh, I think he missed that pickup there.
Yeah, he might have wanted to grab that pickup. It's a little bit difficult to get up there. He, would have needed to charge jump again. But
I'm a bit surprised he didn't want to take this opportunity to go left side of Grotto of Guma's Hada to check the 4 energy door that we mentioned before.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Will is thinking. He might like that. It could be fine. He might just want to go towards these trees at this point. Note he does need to get 3 more trees before his next clue. But maybe he's kind of taking the route in which he wants to keep going towards these trees and maybe not have to deal with any backtracking that he might have to do. Maybe he feels like if he got another skill, he might need to backtrack, so he's not going towards that left side just yet.
I do recall that, without Waller... Ooh, double. Wow. And grenade!
Wow. 2 skills right there. So
we have Bash, Grenade, double jump. So many great useful skills right now.
Yeah, so Vulajin with double jump now, he might feel comfortable with kind of progressing more than he, could have before, especially with light grenades. So he's got a lot of different movement options, and he finds climb. Wow, Vula finding everything that he needs this scene.
Everything's coming at Vulajin.
Yeah, he's got all the wall interaction he needs. Dr. Tuan exploring this left side, not sure if he's going to be able to find anything. Unfortunately, not really finding much. And that's kind of why Vula didn't want to go there either, because he didn't have that wall interaction to go to that side. But Vula finding a ton of skills that are going to be very useful for him.
I mean, he got wall interaction, height advantage, height control, all in one confined section of the game. It's dang sexy, man.
Yeah, and now he's going to be going to skip this cutscene. There's a couple pickups in Thornfelt Swamp on this upper right side, but we're probably going to see him go into the stomp area pretty soon here. He just needs to get these few pickups.
Yeah, because right now he's still looking for some more energy would be nice. Maybe a faster way of getting into swamp. I mean, obviously finding stop would be it,
Yeah, the thing with Vulajin is, he's definitely a, very accomplished runner of this game. So he might not, necessarily need it, but it's definitely something he wants. He definitely didn't want to leave any pickups unturned though, because he definitely wanted to make sure that he's able to go through everything, and he's got wall charge jumps here, and so he's able to make it through and get into swamp very easily.
True. He doesn't have feather, and feather would make going through Sorrow a lot.
Yeah, Vula with a nice charge jump and dash there, making quick work of that stompable platform without stomps. Nicely done from Vula. He's gonna do another wall charge jump to get this pickup, and he's probably gonna get this stomp tree right here, and then he's gonna charge jump up to get another pickup before he proceeds on.
Yeah,
so he's got a couple options.
Yeah, if I was him, I would. Oh, my God!
What? Wow.
Never mind. Ignore everything I said. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now, other than not having glide for Misty, he has essentially full access to left side.
Vula is done with this seed. He doesn't need to do anything else. He's got everything he needs. He obviously needs the water vein and the sunstone, but he's definitely probably going to be comfortable with his movement throughout the rest of the seed.
Yeah, but this is exactly what I figured he would do. Just go over the grenade tree, because he's at 5 trees right now. He wants to know what his next clue is.
Yep, he needs to explore these areas. He almost charge dashed into the cutscene. There's a nearly a minute cutscene here, maybe even over a minute. So he didn't want to walk into that for sure, but he didn't.
Yeah. I know we're talking a lot about Vulajin here, but Twin has been working pretty diligently catching up to Vulajin. This seed has been, for the most part, pretty linear. So he has just been following in Vulajin's footsteps this entire time. He's only made somewhat of a divergence checking over left side of Guma's hideout, and now he's just going through and finding all these amazing pickups that Vulajin has already discovered.
Yep, and actually Tuan kind of maneuvering further away from Bash. I don't know if Tuan's going to be going to the stomp tree over here, but having bashes would definitely be useful, and we know that's the plant over in the grotto / swamp kind of area in between there. But
yeah, he has full access to check it. Unfortunately, it might have been just like one of those pickups, like you can do it, but you've forgotten that you can't.
Yeah. Tuan might have. I don't even think Tuan went that way. So definitely unfortunate for Tuan, but we'll see if he goes back to grab that. Vula, in the meantime, going to be going into the left side here now. Having stomp, he's actually able to, kind of easily make his, rounds over into Valley of the Wind here.
having a little bit of fumble in the bird corridor. And let's find out if Tuin actually manages to get stomped, because that would be kind of nice. Okay,
Yeah,
it looks like
got
he's going
charge
for
jump, so I wouldn't imagine Tuan would dodge this pickup.
it. And he has the appropriate reaction.
Yep. Tuan's definitely happy, but the one kind of important factor here is not having Bash. And Bash could be pretty much anywhere, like any of that right side of the map that Tuan explored. Tuan might have to backtrack to go find it, but it looks like Tuan actually is deciding to go left here. What do you think of this play, Ozzy?
I think this is more or less him thinking, I have charge jump, I have some amount of health, I have he doesn't have bash, but he has double jump, which really helps. He might be just looking for bash right here. If he doesn't, he might just take this opportunity to use charge jump to go through. Those skills make this much more possible than just say constantly damage boosting, because these spikes do like 3 damage a hit.
Yeah, meanwhile, Vulajin here, trying his hand at Sorrow Bash. He's died a few times, so Sorrow Bash, being a sequence break that's used in many categories of this game, that you kind of manipulate these birds to fly into this corridor, and then you can bash them up here. He's using a technique called Double Bash, which allows him to kind of move Ori and a projectile all in the same direction, and he makes it through, but an interesting thing is, one of the clues that Vula got was the Sunstone is in Sorrow Pass. And right now, Vula doesn't have Feather, which is definitely an important skill if you want to easily maneuver through Sorrow Pass. So,
yeah, this might be a rough time for our runners if Glide is buried somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, let's take all a trip to Theros. Travel time.
And so the thing is, about Sorrow Pass, there are a significant number of pickups in this area, and so it could be in any of these different areas. Again, the Sunstone is kind of designed to be in this area as well. So we're going to see Vulajin take this tumbleweed up. He's going to need to rocket jump his way back up there, I think. Oh, he's trying to do a grenade jump. So a grenade jump is a frame-perfect trick where he has to press, or he has to have a wall charge jump charged, and then press grenade on one frame, and then jump on the next frame to get a large boost in speed. But unfortunately, he messed it up, so he might be trying the tumbleweed again here.
Yeah, I can already imagine what Vulajin's saying right now, and none of it is PG-13.
Yeah, Vulajin definitely, struggling a little bit here in Sorrow, but he's going to get this tumbleweed. He's going to save here so that he can just easily die and get the tumbleweed back to this spot. But Vula letting go of the tumbleweed by accident. Yeah, this is definitely a struggle that happens when you try to go through Sorrow Pass without Feather. Again, in a Metroidvania, you get these skills, and you're kind of given the tutorial area, and this is kind of the area where you're supposed to. It's designed to use Feather because you get Feather right before it. So not having it there is definitely a painful thing.
Oh man! Oh, that was a very nice
wow.
cell to pick up.
Yeah, Vula going to 2 health and then getting this clutch health cell.
Here's the thing, though. It still doesn't change the fact that Vula is going to have to check these pickups.
Yep. Vulajin,
I mean, unless Sunstone is on the tree in all places.
Yeah, Vula might be just rushing trees at this point, and he might try to revisit. Vula taking 5 damage there, but doesn't take it down. That was scary.
Let me emulate what he's saying. Oh god, why? God!
Yep, so I think actually Vula might altar here, since he did try to rush this area. I don't know if he's going to try to go for anything else. There's one ability cell up here that he could get.
Yeah, and I totally support this play. He's got bash, he's got climb, charge, jump. This is totally reasonable to do.
Yep. Looks like he's trying for a grenade jump here when he could just bash these projectiles. He does get a grenade jump. Unfortunately, doesn't launch him as far as he wanted. Still takes 5 damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, doesn't quite pay off, and he still is lacking enough skill points to get triple jump, as well as that very, very nice extra defense, which would help him out. But it looks like he is just opting to not alt-naring back to the start of the game and going back through.
I'm actually wondering where Vul is trying to go here. He's going to try to grab this tumbleweed again and double bash it across? Okay. Yeah, it looks like Vul is going to do this. He doesn't want to lose the tumbleweed. I think he might, be thinking he's not going to get Feather anytime soon, so he kind of needs to use this as his one way to get through Sorrow, but...
It's companion tumbleweed.
The problem is when he double bashed it, and then he went to the keystone door, it landed in spikes, so every time he dies, he's going to need to grab it from the spikes again. Oh, jeez. Oh, Vulajin. Alright, Vula making a save here. He's going to leave the tumbleweed behind. So he's going to be trying to pick up, probably the mapstone here. Maybe the mapstone altar as well. So he's grabbing experience in this mapstone. He really wants to find that sunstone, but it's definitely very difficult for him right now.
Yeah, because he finds it. He can just say goodbye to everything in Sorrow, pretty much.
Yep. So Vula, still trying to make it through with grenade jumps, trying to find the sunstone, and he's going to be definitely hard pressed to get anything if it's over on the left side. He definitely wants it somewhere over here, because he would have to go and Feather. Ooh, Vula taking him death here, but knows he doesn't need to get those pickups again.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Bird.
Yep, on the left side, Dr. 2N watching a 20-second or so cutscene.
Yes, he has been hard at work clearing out most of the area, trying to find either glide or something, because I have a good feeling he isn't up for companion tumbleweed.
Vula looks like he's trying to make a save, but he was having a lot of difficulty finding a safe spot for the save. Alright, a health cell here, which ends up being an energy cell. And this is starting to be bad news for Vula.
Yeah, I think that's the last of his, easy quote-unquote pickups.
Yep. And still, Dr. 2N, having not found Bash yet, he's going to walk up to this plane. Is he going to get it? And he does. He finds Bash, and that is the catalyst he needs to do something. And I think he might be exploring more of the left side of the map now that he's got Bash.
It would be the play I'd make, and I don't blame him for it at all. The only thing that I would say that Feather could possibly be in, I would put Feather, say, bottom of valley stuff. That's where I'd put Feather. It's either that or in Barrows.
Yep, and so it looks like Dr. 2N here, opting for this top route here. It's a little more dangerous since there are slimes, but 2N making it through. Didn't need to do the stomp floor because he already did that, and is going to be going towards the Feather and Valley area right now. Vula, meanwhile, this is kind of where the difficulty sets in for not having Feather, is that all of these pickups are very difficult to get, and you're going to need to damage boost your way to actually get all 4 of the pickups or 5 of the pickups that are up here.
Granted, if it turns out Sunstone isn't up here, nice extra double jump. That is a really nice find, especially considering the situation he's in.
All right, Vula might be. Vula finds the Sunstone. All right, really nice from Vula. He manages to find the Sunstone. He still needs to find the water vein to get to the Bash tree, but the Sunstone is definitely that sigh of relief that he can now leave Sorrow and go progress and get collected the other trees.
If it turns out Twen goes and starts exploring at other locations to try and find glide and not do the insanity that Vulajin just did, that would have him catch up a little bit and just like speed up if it's not too far out of the way. But
Yep.
it's gonna be real tough at this point.
And imagine if we get Glide here on the left side. Dr. Tuen's getting the feather pickup. If he gets it here, Tuen could definitely go through Sorrow a lot faster than Vula. Again, Vula kind of went into Sorrow Pass without getting this Glide pickup, because then he would have had to kind of traverse all the way back up. So we'll see what Tuen gets here. Tuen gets an ability cell and is going to be able to activate this teleporter. And again, sees where the Sunstone is, but maybe
Right.
Tuen's not as comfortable as Vula is with a featherless Sorrow Pass.
Not many can say they are, and the people that do it anyway begrudgingly do it.
Yeah, it looks like Tuen's going to be taking the same route that Vula did. Is going to be going through Sorrow Pass, so we know that the Sunstone is buried deep into the left side of Sorrow, so it might be pretty difficult for Tuen to go there.
And right now, Vola is just going to be doing his best to tree rush as quickly as he possibly can. He knows that all he really needs to finish this game is the water vein, and the fastest way he's going to find out is by what the clue will give him. Hopefully, the clue is something that isn't, like, say, Sorrow again, because if it turns out it is in Sorrow again, I'm pretty sure Vulajin will just...
Tuen! Oh! Tuen had 1 health there with the Sorrow Bash. So having kind of the same amount of difficulty that Vola had here. We'll see if Tuen's able to recover.
Everybody wants freaking water vein and Forlorn. But yeah, Sorrow Bash, even with the keybind that essentially makes it so that double bashing is a million times easier, it is not by any means free to do Sorrow Bash.
And meanwhile, Vulajin in Misty Woods at the climb tree, he finds out that the water vein is in Misty Woods. So we actually saw him. We saw him skip pickups actively at the beginning of Misty. So hopefully that doesn't affect him, because he's probably going to go through the rest of Misty here in hopes that the water vein's in the latter half.
Yeah, he probably felt like possibly Tuen might have found Glide, and therefore, okay, I spent all that time trying to get Sunstone. I need to just start making up for lost time. And of course, it's a Misty.
And I don't fault Vula in any way as well. So if it wasn't in Misty, that's the right play to rush the tree and try to find the clue. But, Vula just having, I guess, bad luck, but a nice grenade jump there. They get through the spiky section, but taking a death all the way back to the 3rd keystone.
And unfortunately, Tuen realizes he doesn't have Glide.
For some reason, I thought Tuen out of bounds there, but it was just Altar just took a little bit longer than it.
I've had that happen before, where it's just your Ori's in limbo for a while.
Vula with another not as nice grenade jump there, but now getting another map stone. He's running out of pickups here in the last half of Misty Woods. Also, there's a
here's the question: if you're Vulajin, do you escort the orb?
Well, I mean, it all depends on if you don't get the water vein beforehand. So there's a grenade pickup that's over here in Misty Woods, as well as the Gumon Seal pickup that Vulajin could get. If not, he's going to have to kind of backtrack and make his way into Misty yet again by refreshing using the Gumon pedestal.
Oh, we're going to get some knowledge here, because right now, Tuen is in Misty Woods. He is picking up the things Vulajin did not.
All right, and so this will be kind of interesting. We'll figure out kind of at the same time. Vula gets 194 experience, so this is actually a play from Vula. He does not want to get the Gumon Seal pickup. That takes a lot of time to get, so he's going to opt to go to Misty Woods and then try to get another one of the other pickups that's there. That's earlier in Misty Woods. So this is a kind of play that Vula actually doesn't even have the Valley teleporter. It looks like he has to be all the way back in Hollow Grove. So this is actually,
Yeah. Oh, and
bad.
there's the water vein.
All right, 2N getting the water vein, so now we know where it is. It's at the Keystone, so this is actually the right play that, unbeknownst to Vula, he's going to find it earlier than checking the Gumon seal, finding nothing, and then going here. But he still has to make it all the way through Valley before he gets into Misty again.
Yeah, unfortunately, that still doesn't make up for the time that Dr. Twin doesn't have the Sunstone nor the Sea Jump Tree.
Yep, so definitely
So-
unfortunate for 2N.
Where 2N does not have the knowledge, and it doesn't appear to have the skill or confidence in doing the tricks that Vulajin did in order to get those pickups.
Yeah, to get that Sunstone
yeah.
all the way in the one of the top keystones in Sorrow, that's just impossible to do.
It's pretty miserable. Sunstone and Sorrow. Yep, you're gonna have to go in there, and it's the only thing that's holding him back. If he can either find the Sorrow, no, he really just needs Glide, doesn't he? Even if he finds the Sorrow teleporter, he needs Glide.
Oh wait, did Vula? Oh, does Vula have to go to the Gumon seal pickup anyways? Because the other part in Misty didn't. The area where the water vein loaded didn't refresh Misty Woods, so he has to actually finish Misty again. So he has got to go through the entire thing yet again.
Oh, Vulajin.
Oh no! This is worst case scenario for Vula. He has
And
to
the
do
best-
Misty like 3 times.
And probably the best case scenario for 2N. 2N has made his way over into Ginso. Unfortunately, by the game's logic, it can't. Glide cannot be in Ginso. The game will always assume that you have Glide before you're doing Misty, and you needed to get into Misty to get Water Vein.
Oh jeez. Poor Vula. But this does give 2N an opening. But yeah, like I'm not sure if it's enough because Vula is very good at his execution. He did the technique that he founded, Bang Zoom on that mini boss, which is basically one of the fastest way for runners of this game to destroy this boss. But
I think we're going to be asking Vulajin how he really feels about Misty Woods.
All right, now Vula's gonna pick up the water vein here, and he gets it now. Finally wrapping up his game. So he's gonna just go to the bash tree now and then finish up the seed. Vula might not actually be feeling as confident as he might be if he knew where he was, but
yeah, it's all hinging on if he feels Dr. Twin found Glide. If he found Glide, then that changes a lot of what you do in the seed.
Yep. Dr. Twin now getting the Valley teleporter, so he's gonna have to go in and get charge dash now. So both of these players racing to their final trees to try to.
Oh no, Twin! No, don't! I feel bad for him. He is climbing Ginso.
Yep, 2N probably trying to figure out, maybe not reading the logic as best as he could, trying to find Glide for sure. Like that's the only thing that you would need to look for.
I mean, the only thing I could see him like coming out of as beneficial to help him get through the remainder of the sea with that Glide is a crap ton of health cells.
Health, or an additional double jump as well.
We know where that is.
Yeah. I don't think 2N grabbed it. I could be wrong.
Or am I getting seeds? I might be getting seeds mixed up. It's very easy to do. We've seen a lot of seeds today.
Yep. Looks like 2N did get a health cell. I'm not sure where 2N's going. There's like 8 more pickups here in Ginso, but I don't know if it's really that optimal to get. I think 2N definitely not comfortable with his ability to go through the map and get through Sorrow Pass without feathers. So this is kind of just an unfortunate thing here. Thinking about going to Valley, and it looks like he actually does. So he's gonna try his hand there. All right, it looks like word from the truck. Extra double jump was the first left keystone in Sorrow. Um, so Tuan might be going up there right now. Might be going down here, trying to pick up some of these other pickups at the bottom of Valley.
Yeah, this is what I do. A lot of these pickups are really quick, and hey, if Glide's here, and I've seen it happen.
Yep. Unfortunately for Tuan, Vula is now basically going to finish up this seed. So Vula making some nice time here. Tuan just trying his best to find Clyde here, but unfortunately, maybe not as confident in his abilities as Vula is to finish the season.
These, to be fair, what he is doing, and I imagine this is just a part of him and his experience with the game and the randomizer in general. These are areas you typically don't go to in a randomizer. There, even in all skills runs, this area is completely ignored. So there's a little bit of familiarity with it.
Yep. And so we see Vula here trying to do a frame perfect trick of door warp, and he gets it. Very nicely done from Vula. He's going to get
Probably,
into the final escape.
yeah, that door warp to go right to final escape skips the entirety of the Mount Horror dungeon. The final dungeon in the game is completely ignored. And I think nobody complained when they discovered that trick.
And this is kind of bad news for Tuan. Tuan's running out of pickups here as Vula's wrapping up this scene. So
yeah, it's looking like more and more like Barrows was holding Glide.
Yep. So Tuan getting a health cell there, which is nice. Going to be able to tank a few more hits. Oh, 2 more health. Yeah, definitely going to be able to tank more hits in Sorrow now. So that might be what he needs to finish up. As Vula here in the final escape. Vula making it through the poison water there. He didn't get clean water. And he actually spawns Kuro as well. Again, he doesn't have
glide. He doesn't have glide. He doesn't have enough height there. He really should have done fish strats. I think he would have had an easier time with that.
Yep, so Vula needs to be very careful through these few rooms here.
Oh, right, Glazer.
Oh, Tuan trying to get a pickup there. Unfortunate for him. Vula, even with that death, still shouldn't have too much trouble here making it out. Looks like Vula still opting not to go for that, dealing with that fish there. Vula spawning Kuro again. He's going to take another death here. I still don't feel too worried for Vula. Tuan still struggling, trying to find out where Glide is. Yeah, this is definitely unfortunate. Yeah, Vula might be getting a little bit more nervous though. You still don't know exactly where your opponent is, so Vula could definitely be feeling the pressure here.
Yeah, and looks like Dr. Twin is heading back in the grotto.
Right. So there's a cutscene trigger here that Vula is trying to avoid. There's like a narrow passage underneath that rocks where the cutscene trigger does not occur. And he's trying to dodge that so that he can kind of climb onto that left side wall, but unfortunately missing it pretty consistently here. Tuan still trying to find out where these pickups are.
Yeah, it might be time for Barrows. Is he going Barrows? Because that's no, he's going back to the Valley of the Wind. I think he's finally going to try and do the damage boost.
Yep. Tuan, I'm not sure if Tuan has Ultra Defense, but if he does...
He does.
Alright, he should be able to, take 3 hits before dying, which is...
He could take 4 hits if he's got health regen.
Yep, and Vula makes it through. Very nicely done from Vula. And he's going to be trying for a grenade jump here to finish off.
And he pulls it off.
Very nicely done from Vula. So he's going to be wrapping up with a 4650, it looks like.
Yep. Meanwhile, Twin is making his way up and is ready to perform the Sarah.
Oh, did Vula again? He got the fake grenade jump there. Unfortunately, he's going to have to wait through the entire cutscene still. So Vula going to have to still do that before he wraps up this scene. Still not going to cost him a loss. He still just has to hold right. But just sweating a little bit more. Hoping
Right.
2N doesn't dot done.
I think with the fake grenade jump pull off, I don't think Vulajin would have it any other way this seed.
Yep. And yeah, we'll try to get Vula's thought after 2N finishes. So 2N now in Sorrow gonna be able to find this pretty quickly. Gonna try for the same grenade jump Vula tried for. Gets hit,
And
unfortunately.
yeah, the spikes up there, that hurts. And I would just say rocket jump up there because you're gonna want to conserve your health as much as you possibly can.
Yep. Right, and Vula finishing off with a 47-29. Congrats to him on his victory.
Yep. All right, he's made it up. He has got 9 health cells, 10 health cells.
Yep, and now 2N going to get through the spike corridor, almost making it through on the first try.
Yeah, this is much more doable with the amount of health he's got, and double jump, and charge jump, and charge dash. He's going to get through here. Unfortunately, this does not spell the end for his journey in Sorrow.
Yep, and so 2N might at some point want to avoid this 110 XP. It's not doing any good. Might opt to try to get some more leftwards distance on this in the spike corridor here. Looks like 2N. Oh,
so close. Yeah, he really should not be going for that because he could really use that height elsewhere. But I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's really close to leveling up and he thinks he could get just enough more here. But he's through.
All right, nice from 2N. 2N's still going to have to try to figure out where the sunstone is. And I get the bad news that it's not at the tree. And we'll see which way 2N decides to go. They can go up, or which has a lower density of pickups, or go down, which is significantly harder, but does have that higher amount of pickups.
Yeah, and he's clearly going to go for the same pickup that Vulajin did after getting the tree, and he is going to be sorely disappointed, unfortunately.
Yep, definitely going to be a sad story here for 2N. And looks like going to be heading out here as well. So didn't find what he wanted. So we'll have to actually make it out this way. This might actually be also pretty difficult. 2N's going to go for this pickup as well. And he should be able to get up here.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all. At this point, any pickup that you can get without banging your head against the wall, and a very nice, convenient level up right there.
Yeah, that's actually really useful for getting that health refill. I think 2N was ready to just die there.
And he gets the health cell.
It's like 2N routed this in to have these health pickups heal just enough health to
Hashtag justice plan.
And another health cell. Wow.
Hashtag justice planned.
2N able to find all these pickups here with these health pickups. That's actually great. Oh wow.
Now, if he can only mind and read, go to the Keystone area.
Yep. And I mean, technically 2N is going to the Keystone area. There is a singular Keystone up here, just not the one that contains the Sunstone. So, looks like 2N might be saving here just to make sure. Again, doesn't want to die. Knows that Vula had the dot done in the race chat if he's looking for it. And 2N actually ignoring all the spikes in that the part beneath him and going through this keystone door. So, that's pretty nice as well. Getting closer and closer to the sunstone.
A route less taken in this randomizer, that's for sure.
Yep. You don't see that very often by many players, but that's a nice alternative if you don't have glide and you're uncomfortable traversing through this area.
Yeah. Right now, is he gonna actually can he?
Yeah, Tuan's gonna go through this way, pick up this XP, and then the ability cell above it, and then he's gonna find his way towards Sunstone, which is one of the keystones up there.
Spiders, man, what can I say?
Tuan gonna make it over. Again, doesn't have glide, so cannot use the wind current to go up. I don't know if Tuan fell there or is gonna try for a grenade jump. It's like maybe just wall charge jumps.
Yeah.
Right. Tuan now.
All right, he's at the right location.
Yep.
It was the third one up, I recall.
Yeah,
there's extra double jump.
Here we go. All right. This is the last keystone right here. Is where the sunstone is. Oh, jeez. Tuan just inches away from the sunstone.
Oh, I feel for him. Oh. Yeah, if he can get over this hump, he's got this. He can just charge jump the rest of the way.
Oh, come on. Take our energy to and get the sunstone. Alright, here it is. Alright, Tuan can save here and then grab the sunstone safely. And there it is, the instant altar going to the end of the game.
And the words of, oh, thank God. We can all feel for Dr. Tuan. This is not a kind thing to do to any runner, to ask them to go through without glide, without Sorrow Teleporter.
Yep, and Tuan can now safely make it through. Actually has a significantly larger amount of health than Vula had in the escape, so Tuan could probably even take 2 damage boosts and still be fine.
I mean, he just ate one of those green enemies there that hit like a truck.
Yeah, those banelings deal a truckload of damage, and Tuan actually opting for waiting for his save to refresh so that he can save here. Going to kill this element. Well, it's going to make it a little bit harder to make it. Oh, going for a grenade jump here. Gets the grenade jump first try. So, nice moral victory there from Tuan.
At this point, it's Dr. Tuan's victory lap. It may not have been a victory against a Vulajin, but it was a personal victory against this seed.
Now, Tuan going to be going for door warp here. We'll see if... Oh, Tuan loading the incorrect save, unfortunately.
We've all done that before.
Move it to the right. At least Tuan didn't accidentally delete his save and gets door warp first try.
Yeah, like it's free or something.
Yeah, really nicely done, getting the frame perfect up input as the game reloaded in. So, really nicely done from Tuan. So now coming into the final escape, Tuan going to have the same difficulties that Vula had. So not having feather means the elemental room as well as the final room gonna pose some difficult platforming for Tuan. But again, he's been focused on this randomizer as he started to learn this game. So.
Most of us have spent a good amount of time just familiarizing ourselves with the various amount of skill requirement combinations to get through escape. And, oh boy, there's a lot of them to remember. Ooh.
Oh, Tuan actually missing the cutscene, but dodging it. He went back over the cutscene and then went to the left again to make sure not to trigger it. That was great.
Okay, he's going for grenade jump. See if he gets it. He's making absolutely darn sure he's getting this.
Yep. And getting a first try grenade jump. Really nicely done.
Dr. Tuan.
So, Tuan getting the grenade jump. Very nice final escape. Definitely nicer than Vulajin's. But again, going to be finishing up here around 10 minutes later than him. So, GG 2-2 and actually lost his double match earlier, but does not spell the end in this tournament, as there are, additional rounds of Swiss coming up, and so many more chances to take some victories and then go further in this tournament.
All right. At that official time of let's see.
Getting a 57 flat.
Dang.
All right, and so congratulations to Dr. Tuan on finishing, and we are actually joined by my friend Vulajin, who is the victor in this match. Vula, how do you feel about that victory?
I feel I'm happy to get a victory under my belt here. I would have liked to have played slightly better in a number of different ways there in that seed, but I'm not going to complain about being 1-0.
Nope. For the most part, you did all right. Obviously, it's always a very challenging aspect tackling Sorrow in any capacity without Glide, but the fact you had to go into the far reaches of left side of Sorrow to check those keystones to get your Sunstone, that's a challenge.
Yeah, I wasn't too scared about that. Mostly because I've done it in a bunch of seeds recently, and I mean it's just damage boosts, right? And I had charge jump and everything, so that was fun. Mostly my thinking when going into Sorrow was I felt like I'd botched a thing or two with the way I kind of managed the Valley teleporter and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I pretty much have to just go to Sorrow immediately and assume that Glide is just not anywhere. And that was basically what I was banking on. And if Glide had been anywhere, then Tuan would have gotten it for sure. And then it would have been a very different seed. But I figured that my best chance to win was just go and just do what I could.
And it wasn't obvious from you watching the end of the stream there. Yeah, Glide was nowhere to be found. I haven't seen the spoiler yet, but I have a good suspicion that Glide is buried somewhere in Barrows.
That is very probable, because I would expect Tuan would have done a lot of the other areas pretty much in his sweep trying to find it.
It was rarely touched. It had most of it was accessible. You had dash, you had grenade.
Where are we talking about Glide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Neither of you had found it, so we're unsure of where it was.
Oh,
yeah.
Welcome, Dr. Tuan.
Hello.
Yeah. How do you feel about that match?
I feel pretty good, honestly. I think right up until I started hitching on Sorrow, I was on PB pace. My PB is 40 minutes. And so I got into Valley round 30 or something, and I was pumped. And so I considered routing up to Sorrow the first time a bit of a mistake, because without Feather, it should have been obvious to go everywhere else first, but I figured it out later. But then after everywhere else was cleared, no Feather. And I didn't have Ultra Defense, so I went searching for Feather until I realized I had enough to get Ultra Defense. Probably the biggest help here is I watched Muffin's stream and took probably 10 pages of notes. And at one point I learned that grenade jump slides you up the wall. Of course, now I realize I could have just rocket jumped, but I'm sure the stream liked it.
Yeah, you were taking some very interesting little tricks mostly people don't do. So that was always cool to see.
Yeah, so I do actually want to talk about. So one pickup that was, pretty integral in this seed was Bash. So Bash was that plant over in Moon Grotto, above the teleporter. So Vula got that pretty early in the seed, and Tuan, you did kind of revisit that area and grab it at a later point. When you grabbed that seed, what was going through your mind? Did you think that you could have gotten it earlier? What were you thinking?
I thought I could have gotten it earlier, but again, I honestly wasn't too disappointed with my routing in the beginning, because I pretty much went tree to tree. So I didn't consider it a true waste. Other than the fact that I started in Spider Sack area and worked my way there, I should have realized that I did next to nothing in Grotto because I had no wall interaction, and so I should have taken that into account and went back there instead.
I got a question for Vulajin, because this is something that I've had in my head, like what was going through your head at the time. How do you feel about Misty Woods?
So let's talk about the overall approach there first. So when I went to Misty Woods, I had just spent like, I don't know, it was like, must have been like 80 minutes in Sorrow Pass, right? I'm pretty sure it was like 80. And I was like, all right, that took a very long time. If there was even the slightest chance before that Tuin wouldn't have gotten Glide, he's probably gotten it by now. So I need to like book. So I was just like, I'm just getting Feather, I'm getting Climb, and I'm just gambling that after I get those two things, I will get the clue for like some other place elsewhere on the map. It will not come back to bite me, and of course it bit me. And then I was like,
It bit
okay,
you
well that's
twice.
fine. Yeah. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll do the second half of Misty. It's got to be in the second half, right? And even if it's not that long of a trip to revisit. So I did the second half. It wasn't there. I was not ever gonna check the stupid Gumon seal on that visit. There was no possible way. It wasn't there. So I altar'd, and then I hadn't gotten the Valley teleporter twice.
Oh no!
On two separate visits to that same area, I had not gotten the Valley teleporter. So I had to manually go back through to go into Misty, and then there's that one ability cell that you charge jump over, or like there's like a wind current, and if you had checked it on the way in, everything was fine. But I checked it on the second visit, and the problem is that it's not there on the second visit until you get to the end and defeat the mini boss. So it was really,
man.
it all came down to like I was just overestimating like how screwed I was, like that I needed to like absolutely haul butt and
Right.
get lucky on where the clue was. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
would have approached Misty very differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a
Tuin
tough scene.
Tuin, you ended up winning in the Misty, and it was kind of, at the time, Vulajin, you were exploring the second half of Misty. Tuin just entered Misty, and we were seeing all the things you skipped.
What a video game.
That was intense. That was a really intense scene.
Yeah. So, Two, and I just have one final question for you. So you had a nail biting race earlier today as the opening race of this tournament, and now you have this loss to Vula. How do you feel about kind of your randomizer skill in general going into these future Swiss weeks?
Honestly, I've been playing for about a month, and I think that despite this being double losses, I think that the skills I've put on display for trying to improvise things went pretty well. So obviously some routing stuff to do. I'm gonna rewatch the stream probably immediately and take a bunch more notes, and I'll probably actually wander around and find Feather. And
Yeah,
and I will. I honestly feel good. I think I've got a pretty good handle on making myself just go to trees when you should go to trees and collect when you should collect. This was just pretty difficult, and that's all.
Yeah.
For playing for a month, that's really good. You've done really well. It has a lot of good play.
Yeah, and I'm in the same boat as you. I'm still relatively a new runner, and the logic is probably one of the most difficult things to think on the fly about, because Ori, there's so many different combinations of things that are in logic or out of logic depending on what skills you have. It can be very difficult to adjust on the fly.
And especially after the game opens up like we had it, oh hey, we have left side, right side, middle, let's go to Sorrow, and now that you have access to everything, it becomes a lot more difficult to try to predict what the logic wants.
Yep. That was a hard seed, dude. Like that was a very like enough things were available that you could feel comfortable, but without Glide,
I have also never done that much glideless Sorrow. That the entire left side of Sorrow, that was 100% the first time I've done any of that. It was completely improvised.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
So I'm gonna put that skill in my pocket for later.
Yeah. Hey, no better way to learn than under pressure, right?
Exactly.
Yes. Right.
All right, I think that about does it, and that is the last of today's runs.
Yep. Yeah. Congratulations, Vula. Good luck in the 1-0 rounds. Do you have any expectations or worries going into next week?
I'm probably gonna end up getting matched against like Sigma and just get completely destroyed.
No, Vulajin, fight me.
I mean, happily. I would love for all my matches to be against like, hey, let's match the person with like 1,050 hours of this game played against the person who just learned it last month. That seems fair. I'll take it. I'll take it every day.
Fight me.
All right. So thank you, Vula. Thank you, Ozzy, for joining me on commentary.
Yep, glad to work with you, Richard. Hope to do so again.
Yep. We are done with matches for today, but we do have a couple matches tomorrow. So we have Mr. Grease versus Rainbow Poogle tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, followed up with Uncle Ronnie versus Rory Rye at 6 p.m. EDT tomorrow as well, and then we'll have matches throughout the rest of the week. So plenty of rando action coming up throughout the next month or so. All right, thank you everyone, and have a good night.
Take care. Bye-bye.